This baby is definitely not simple. He can cross the street all by himself. He sleeps right in the middle of the road when he's tired of crawling. A big truck came suddenly and happened to drive over the baby's head just as he was about to crawl across the road. 3 robbers spotted the baby. They went up to chase after him, only to be crushed by a small car. By this time, the baby had crawled to the zoo. The 3 men arrived to find the baby in trouble as he got into the chimpanzee's cage. That's when David stuck his arm into the cage. He clips the shoelace and prepares to grab the baby. The chimp was a bit angry when he saw it. The baby suddenly cried out, and then the chimpanzee immediately stood up. Jack brought a broomstick. When the chimp wasn't looking, he hooked the baby's clothes. That's how the baby was hooked. Jack was about to catch the baby. The chimpanzee suddenly got up and saved the baby. David froze. Andy sneaked his hand into the cage while the chimp and baby were sleeping. He grabbed the baby's legs and slowly yanked them out. Suddenly, the baby moved and the chimp was awakened. The chimpanzee grabbed Andy's hands tightly. The orangutan on the side clapped his hands in delight. The baby followed the chimpanzee as he climbed into the backyard and out of the way. However, it wasn't long before the 3 robbers caught the baby. At that moment, 2 policemen came across the street. They hid the baby in their clothes and covered his mouth. The policemen saw that they were suspicious and questioned them briefly. The baby suddenly pulled out a lighter. Andy's expression was very painful. At this moment, the police were chatting with them. Andy had to endure the pain. It was hard to wait until the police left, and a policeman came back. He seemed to smell the smell of barbecue. Andy forced a smile. His crotch was already burning. The baby crept away quietly. When the cop left, Andy hurriedly lifted his shirt. The fire instantly filled the room, and the other 2 helped to put out the fire. But it was of little use. There was no other way. They could only use desperate measures. With the efforts of the 2 men, the fire finally went out. Not a moment later, the baby unexpectedly came to the construction site. The baby climbed on top of the iron plate, took a pie and ate it. As the iron plate lifted up, the baby rose into the air with it. The robbers rushed into the elevator, ready to stop the baby halfway. And just like that, the lucky baby escaped again. David, on the other hand, is hanging in midair. Jack prepares to save him and instead hangs on as well. Soon he couldn't hold on and fell. That's when Andy finally found the baby. Andy stepped on the baby's drool on the floor and slipped. A lift happened to pass by and the baby escaped again. Andy jumps on top of a hook. At that moment, the closing bell rang. The workers all left work and the baby landed safely just in time. Andy was just hanging on and couldn't move.